Okay, this is the correctives for topic 8, which is flowcharts and proving congruence. So basically, we're using flowcharts to prove the congruence. Okay, you need to print out, there's 2 pages on this. I'm going to do the first page, you have to do the other, but you need to copy everything I write down on this page as part of it. So you need to have this page done too, as well as the other one you have to try to do on your own. Okay, so first thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be filling in your givens, both on the figure and also on the flowchart. So I've got angle B is congruent to angle D. So I'll put angle B congruent angle D. Angle B, angle D. I marked them also, so I did both. Marked it here and here. Angle ACB, so I'll put it over here. ACB is congruent to ADC. So I filled that in. So ACB, that's this angle, is congruent to I think this might have an error. So this one should be, so that ACB, this one should have been with ACD. This should be ACD. So make that fix. ACD. Didn't catch that. Okay, so let's fix that. ACD. Okay. So I've got those marked. Next thing I'm going to look for is vertical angles and reflexive. So I've got this side is equal to itself. That's reflexive. AC is congruent to AC. The reason is reflexive. Okay, so now I've got my triangles congruent. Triangle CBA. So CBA is congruent to triangle CDA. Just matching up my pieces. My reason, look at this one, is angle. Nothing marked there. Angle, then side. This is angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. The last step in this thing right here was incorrect. It should be AB is congruent to AD. So make that fix to that one too. AB is congruent to AD. And my reason for this one is you could do congruent triangles, therefore congruent parts, or you can do congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, let's look at this next one. We have FH is congruent to IH. FH congruent to IH. FH, IH. EH is congruent to GH. EH is congruent to GH. Now I look for things like reflexive and vertical. Right here I've got vertical angles. They're not necessarily right angles. They look like it, but they may not be. But I do know these angles are going to be congruent to each other. Now for this one, if I'm going to say these two triangles are congruent, I have to use the 3-letter combination because I don't know. I just can't say angle H is congruent to angle H. So I can write it as, right up here, angle FHG. Make sure the H is in the middle, is congruent to angle IHE. Angle IHE. So you just mark those things in there. Now, some people will like to go over and they'll put a little 1 and then they'll put a 2, and they may say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. You can do that. You just have to label your figure so that we know what angle 1 and angle 2 are. This is vertical angles are congruent. Okay, now I'm going to match up my stuff. I have EIH is congruent to GH. FH. So make sure I match up my pieces. E matches G, I matches F, H matches H. This one we have side, angle, side. And then we got to put our what we're trying to prove, which right here was angle HFG. So angle HFG, that's this angle, is congruent to angle HIE. And again, HIE would be this angle down here. You could say corresponding parts, congruent triangles are congruent, or congruent triangles gives you congruent parts. Okay, make sure you've gotten all this stuff written down. You have your figures marked up. You've got everything here. Go ahead and make those corrections. Then you need to do these two problems on your own and bring them in. So you need to check both those when you come in.